Hey there everyone! Welcome back to another exciting video for the Shibarium community and its partners. I'm Cezanne Shib, and my mission is to spread knowledge and positivity within the Shibarium ecosystem. This video is the 18th of all XSpace Weekly DAO Updates series. This XSpace was held May 22nd, 2024.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another K9 Finance Weekly Update Spaces. Number 18, in fact, this week. You're here for update number 18, and according to the title, it says Treasury updates and forum debates. Join us, which you apparently have done. That's why you can hear my voice right now. So you are here very early. K9 Spaces, having followed the reminder link, which we appreciate, listening live with now, or potentially listening to the recording. That's why you would be here this early as well, which is also very cool. We appreciate that. Either way, there's some things you can do, whether you're live or you're listening to the recording. Live, you could request a speaker spot. You could come up and be part of the conversation. Since this is a DAO community AMA, we've got some of that. If you wanted to come up and ask some questions, or if at some point you hear something that sparks your interest, you're welcome to come up here. I'll get to those requests as time allows. If you cannot get a request or you're not in a place where you can speak, the next best thing to do is be active in the comment section, bottom right. For me on mobile, it's a little purple box, but if you're on desktop, it might look different. You need to get down there and leave some comments, and the earlier you get there, the more visible your comment will be. So get down there now, write your comments, concerns, questions, just share photos, doesn't really matter. Let me know what you had for lunch. Just tag me and let me know what you had. Be great. We love the interaction. You can share the spaces, put it on your timeline. You can send a DM, let somebody know we're here, let them know we're having the conversation. That's also helpful. And last is emojis, which are still totally free. You can press the emoji button. There's no instant debit against your account. Elon is not charging you $1 Doge per click, despite any of the rumors. So feel free to use the emojis. Let us know what you think of the show. Now, you're here this early and you see the K9 Finance account talking. Hi, I'm actually not K9 Finance. I always say that. I'm not the guy that made the project. I'm a community member like you guys. My name is Pulse Digital, and I get to do the space. I am not K9 Finance. I'm just a member of everything like you guys. So what I've done is I've assembled up on the speaker panel other members of the community that have respective roles, and you're going to get to hear from them for our weekly updates. Things like Buzz's updates on the product development, updates from Shima on treasury management, updates from Funk on marketing and things like that. And then we're going to hear from Sentinel. I see Shiba Cows came, and I'm happy to see him here as well. So without further ado, that's enough of who I am and why I'm here. I want to go to Buzz first, as we always do. Buzz does a lot of stuff during the week, but doesn't get an opportunity to just sit and talk with us. So first and foremost, hello, Buzz. How are you?
Hey, Shane. I'm doing good. Another busy week. Lots of announcements cooking for next week too. So, team's been busy.
As always, man, time marches on. Somebody the other day said something to me about they didn't realize it had already been basically the entire month of May, because you get your head down and you don't really think about it and stuff. So it is continuing, and I wrote down on the notes today that Q3 approaches. So that's something I'm going to ask you a little bit more about in depth. I see Shima came up here. Shima, we're going to be talking about the passage of the Treasury funds and the send and stuff. Thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, it's great to be here. It'll be short and sweet update from me, but yeah, I'll get to that later when we get to the treasury part, but happy to be here.
Sure, man. I appreciate you pulling up and hanging out. Funk, how are you doing today, sir?
Yo, pretty solid, man. Just hard at work from the moment I wake up until generally the moment I go to bed here for K9 Finance. Love to see our new KOL with us, Gandolf Crypto, in the chat too. That's fantastic.
I see that. I just approved Meyer for a speaker spot. He came up as well, and I got Gandalf. Meyer, how are you doing?
How's it going, guys? I'm obviously not as big as Gandalf, but I've been here from the beginning, and I'm on support the team, and we've got a lot to talk about today. We all know what event I always come and talk about, Toronto Blockchain Futures Conference.
And like Funk mentioned, it must be the dawn of the third day because Gandalf cometh. Good day, sir. How are you? Good to see you.
Yeah, he doesn't talk, but he's here with his huge Cheyenne account and helping bring some new listeners to K9.
That's cool. I'll just run straight first into a wall. No problem. I will ignore that, and we will move right on. Buzz, I want to hand it right to you because I'm teasing everybody about Q3 approaching, but you actually said that in the chat the other day. So this is pressure you're even putting on yourself now that the calendar, you're like one flip away from seeing it, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, in the midst of testing almost every aspect of the product now. We're really making good strides to actually getting the validator live on mainnet as well. So we're starting to actually plan internal dates for when we're not only going to be launching the front end of the product on a testnet environment for the community to test, but also the actual product, which will be live in Q3. So internally, we're putting some tentative dates on that. And what that means is that in short order, we'll put hard dates on them that'll be public for the community too. So that means Q3 is just around the corner.
I know everybody's super excited. Now, part of the giveaway that happened yesterday in the VC you guys hosted, one of the big giveaways, the $10,000 prize, was waiting for the product to go live. I saw that question. Now, this guy has got 10,000 more reasons to be excited for Q3 to come around the corner for this thing to drop. So what do you think's going through his mind now as he's looking at the calendar?
Yeah, Trouser Trout was the one who won. It was awesome to see somebody from the community who has been here for a long time win that prize. And he knew right away when he DM'd me that he'd be waiting for the product to go live in Q3 in order to get that prize, and seemed to be very excited about actually putting those K9 tokens to work within the product when they'll be delivered for that grand prize of almost 10K worth of K9.
And I did see a couple of people asking, well, what's going to happen? Is he just going to sell this right away? And that's why we point that out. What we actually have, because we're lucky based on what I saw, to not only have a winner who's got $10,000 worth to use the product, but potentially a winner who is doing this that is known in the public chat. And that actually opens up a great opportunity for it to be kind of a case study, a use case study. So it'll be great to see as we get closer how participatory we are allowed to be in that process, to see what it's like to see that $10,000 get staked, to see it hit the other side. So shout out to, I think you said it was Trouser Trout. Shout out to Trouser Trout, which is a sentence I've now said out loud as an adult. Very cool to have you holding that $10,000, and I assume in escrow until everything goes live. And then when you get it, obviously we'd love to have you up here in the spaces to talk about the experience. And then as you get to watch the changes, see it flow over and what you're doing, it'll be cool, because I'm sure you won't be the only one with a giant bag that's using the product, but you'll be the only one that we know about, which means that we're going to want to definitely talk about it a little bit. Now, Buzz, what else is coming development-wise? Because you mentioned last week that you were working on polishing up some videos, because you've got rough cut video of how all this looks, but you're really focused now on making sure that the media that starts to flow out from here is like top shelf crisp, because it's no longer internal media. This is stuff that people are starting to look at and think about what they're going to think about K9, right?
Yeah, definitely. Like the next thing that we're going to be pushing out in terms of a product video update is going to be our bridge, which is the technology under the hood that's going to allow people to bring TVL directly to Shibarium. So when they're delegating BONE, what it's going to look like under the hood to receive your K9 BONE directly on Shibarium. And when we were putting together this video, it posed a great user interface question as to how we should be presenting this better on the app itself, to make it kind of obfuscated from the end user, so that they're not seeing this bridge action happen, but it's happening automatically, to have them going from BONE on Ethereum, delegating it, and then K9 BONE appearing in their Shibarium wallet. But that'll be the next product update video, is showing that bridge in action that we've built.
In my trips around the Shibarium ecosystem in different groups, telegrams, and comment sections, I do know that one of the most contentious issues, and my style is not to shy away from bringing up the contentious things, is the challenge period right now to bridge in and out of Shibarium. I've seen some people that were caught off guard or surprised by that 7-day delay in the challenge period and stuff. So there are a lot of people, like you said over and over, that are very excited to have access to something like this. And you're saying to give them a chance to look under the hood, but did you also basically say that that not everyone actually wants to see that? You're kind of trying to make it look more sleek? Is that what you were getting at?
Yeah, like we kind of we do a lot, even these spaces, right? Like we're getting insight and then always reading the chat and seeing what our users want, and not just the K9 users, but the Shibarium users as a whole. And what we're hearing is that they just want it to happen, right? People don't want to do 5 different transactions to get an end result be done. They just want to click a button and have it done for them. So to have a user go from a screen where they're delegating bone and then another screen where they're bridging bone to canine bone seems like redundancy to us. So we just want it to happen in one action so that anyone who's delegating within Canine is receiving that canine bone directly on Shibarium. But of course, it's using the smart contracts that we've built to facilitate that action under the hood.
I think Funk is going to laugh at me the most on this, but what I call that is the Veruca Salt principle for cryptocurrency and retail sales. Don't care how, I want it now. They don't give a shit. They don't care how you did it. They're not going to give you extra credit for all the work you went through. Your end user just wants what they want, and they want it 5 minutes ago, my guy. It's unfortunate. It's like being at a restaurant. Like, do you ever go out to eat with someone? Buzz, I know you're not like this because I know you and me don't go without like that timed eating, but have you ever showed up when you're just way too hungry with family members and they want that order to come out as soon as they talk to the waitress? That's your average crypto user, my guy. They don't care what's going on in the kitchen or how many orders came in before you or the order of operations. And something as simple as making it seem like it was only one click, even if in your world it was like 3 different routers and stuff. They don't want to see that. I 100% agree with you on that. They just want to think, wow, that was so easy. Like that should be exactly how they say it when they get done. It was so easy. Funk, I know you do a lot of retail and marketing and stuff. How simple does it have to be to get someone to be that enthusiastic?
I mean, it has to look simple and it has to work really simply. I mean, it's just like Buzz said, you want to go there, you want to connect your wallet, and you don't want too many options sometimes. I mean, why is Telegram more popular than Discord? Why is the valuation almost double? Certainly, Discord is a better product. It's got all these features, all these options, all this customizability, and yet people want simple. They want to click a couple times, and that's the vast majority of the audience. That's the biggest net that's going to catch the most fish when it comes to, utility. And don't get me wrong, there's the people that are more technically savvy that need these features for the different things that Discord has to offer, and they want that customizability. Maybe there's people that would want to be able to do little parts of the transaction, multiple things, but it's just such a small percent. It's not going to get as many sales functionally. So yeah, I think it's really important.
And when he says that you might need fewer options on the interface, I'll give you an example of what he's talking about, because there's such a thing in psychology where the human brain can become overwhelmed, and it's called paralysis by analysis. So you get so many options put in front of you. I'll give you an example, like the way the Waffle House menu used to look. You open up a trifold menu and it's breakfast, lunch, and dinner. There's like 75 different things on there, and you're just like, oh, wow. And you do that thing where you look back and forth between the pages, but your eyes can't even clearly focus. That's too many options. So they'll slim that down. And Gordon Ramsay has made a lot of money going into restaurants and throwing the restaurant menu away and saying, man, you got to pick 7 things you're good at cooking, then maybe 3 desserts, and that's the whole menu. So Buzz is basically being forced by Funk Ramsay to shorten the list of options down there and just say, listen, people want what they want. And by the way, when you're the chef, you get to tell them what's good. So you don't need to give them a huge menu, and you don't need to allow them to make all the custom changes and stuff. Buzz is going to cook up what Buzz wants to cook up. And I'm excited. I know that everyone else is super excited to actually get just a glimpse of this product, but what can you say?
This is all really validating.
The testnet stuff. Go ahead.
This is just all really validating for the discussions we had at the beginning of this week, because in this update video, you get to see a UI feature that our devs have worked really hard on that we've now decided to hide. So it's not a waste. We're going to keep this in the app. It's going to help us administer things if anyone's token transfers has problems or anyone does anything silly interacting with smart contracts directly. So we'll have this as an administrator thing, but we decided to take it out of the app workflow. And like we said, have a one-click process. When you delegate your bone on the Ethereum network, KN bone will just show up in this address on Shibarium for you.
Cool. Thanks for clarifying. Buzz, I was going to ask what the testnet has been doing, because the Puppynet validator has been up and running now. We covered last time specifically what that meant. What have you learned in another week? It's been 14 days now. It's been up and running, right?
Yeah, that really what that's allowing us to do is just do testing of the product, right? This becomes a lot more exciting to talk about once that validator is live on mainnet.
And do you have any idea when that's going to be?
we'll keep that date secret for now, but I think it's also been really encouraging because we get to see how much work the Shiba dev team is actually doing on the Shibarium network and constantly making little updates. And because it's the test net where they're making more minor updates to the different software that runs the validator and the two different validator or programs that work together basically. I just want to give a shout out to the Shiba team and how hard they're working on making sure Shibarium is, up to date with all of the latest Ethereum standards and EVM standards, as well as, a really secure and powerful yet cheap and efficient layer 2 network. So they're doing great work, and we get to see that because now we're a validator on the network.
Shima, why don't you go ahead and tell me about the treasury funds that got sent?
Yeah, all right. So it's been a really busy week. We also had the Treasury proposal from last week pass. So thank you for everyone for voting on Snapshot. And we've moved 130 Ethereum into liquid staking equivalents. So using Lido, Rocket Pool, and Frax, and holding their wrapped version of liquid staked ETH. So now we're earning from their validators. And we think this was the best use for our unused funds because, we're all about liquid staking here at K9 Finance. And we've also put $300,000 of our stable coins lending into money markets through Aave and MakerDAO. So you can go check out our k9safe.eth on DBank and follow what the wallet's doing and see how the investments are going.
So what is, for those that don't know what all that looks like, because I think there's a lot of people in the community that are not familiar with that, what does the day-to-day process look like on that? Like, what are you doing if you were to wake up every day, get your coffee, log in and look at it? Tell me the day-to-day changes that they're seeing on that dashboard.
So on that dashboard, you see, the big money value for everything that's held within the portfolio, at least that DBank supports. But DBank is by far my favorite portfolio tracker. They support the most DeFi protocols and are really quick to integrate everything. You'll go on there and see the total value of the portfolio, and then you scroll down, you'll see wallet assets. So you'll see a little ETH or BONE or Shib. And then you scroll further down and you see the protocols. And if you want to watch our assets grow over time, just look at the balance under each of the different categories. And you'll see that our $100,000 investments are now, up about $50 each. So, it's slow, but it's steady for how it's better than just having stable coins not growing sitting in our wallet. So it's nice to see that number slowly tick up.
Is that something, and then I'll ask this broadly to you, Shima and Buzz, whoever wants to answer this, is that something that you think that the community, is there an API to allow that to be tracked in the Telegram, or is there a way for us to make announcements when that's getting to certain points? Like, that's a hype thing. So are you tracking it in a way where we're going to be able to maybe the people that aren't tracking it every day are still going to get big announcements on that?
Yes, so we'll be doing monthly reports, so probably just coming on here and giving announcements or putting out a Telegram announcement, but we're going to be actively monitoring this and also slowly coming up with some other more possibly lucrative investment strategies as we understand how we want to be using our Treasury reserve to sort of forward the mission of what K9 Finance DAO is all about into the future.
Thoughts, Buzz?
Yeah, 100%. We're going to be giving monthly updates, and within that proposal as well, there's a tranche of 100,000 worth of USDT that Shima is going to have access to, where he's going to be looking for other opportunities to put that money into. And I just want to touch too on the DBank dashboard. People can log on there weekly, daily, however often they want, and they're going to see the balances go up. So I think it was 43 ETH that was put into each of those liquid staking protocols, and it's already gone up there. Each of the money markets had 100K. They've all made about $50, but it's been 2 days. So it's exciting to see and extrapolate over longer periods of time, where even when Q3 comes around, a lot of these earnings are going to start to be tangible and obviously give the entire DAO more flexibility and to do things like more building, more marketing, more hiring, or anything like that.
It's cool. I hope everybody else is all at least checked on that dashboard. I'm sure it'll be available in the Telegram. You guys will be able to find it. Anybody else thoughts on Treasury funds, Funk, Sentinel, Meyer? No? It's all good. It's all good for me too.
I mean, it's pretty epic that we have that much expertise going into making these decisions.
Yeah, it's definitely good.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of projects come my way through the event series, and this is a very prudent way of actually managing your treasury. In 2016, 2018, I saw a lot of people raise like 100 million, 200 million, and then the bear market hit. And back in those days, there was nowhere to actually park your tokens or even have any type of staking. People, one day they had 200 million in a project, next day they had 2 million. And, it sounds like a lot, but, nowadays it's amazing that the team here is taking the focus and protecting the treasury and growing their treasury like a business. So it's something to take note of if you're looking at these projects. And I know we're in the meme summer right now. God knows what's going on with all of these tokens that are being launched, and you see their values plummet right away. But it's good to see that there's a real team behind this. Dev work is happening. And as well as they're actually thinking about the treasury for the long term.
Agreed. Great points. Buzz, it occurs to me that we are without Turtle today. Do you want to handle some forum updates and news?
Yeah, Turtle has been sick all week. So if people are here and want to wish Turtle well wishes in the Telegram, that'd be great. I know he's last night he was really battling through to announce the winners of the buy contest, but he needed a little bit of a break on this Spaces. I think that to give updates on the forum, the big one in there is really surrounding the potential blacklisting of the arbitrage bot that has been identified that is buying tokens on MEXC and selling them en masse on Uniswap. So it's been a lot of discussion on that one in our community, and definitely encourage people to read the forum post, because that'll certainly be an item for the next roundtable meeting that I encourage the whole community to be educated on, because we're all going to be responsible for putting our voice on the forum and ultimately putting our tokens to vote on what we want to do as a community.
And that one's been going now for quite a few days, and has generated a lot of action. Some of the newer ones that we did not get to talk about last week that you've seen.
Sorry, you cut out there?
What are some of the newer ones that are in the forum that we did not get to talk about this week? I know there's been one or two that have been written since our last meeting.
Yeah, there's another one where that Turbo actually proposed this, who does a lot of the business development for us. Which is when we bridge the K9 token over to Shibarium, which is also going to be in short order. We were looking at as a team and as a community, well, why are you going to want to have your K9 on Ethereum? Because all the staking for K9 is going to happen on Shibarium, and that's where we want the TVL to propagate. And the question became, well, all of our voting is on Ethereum. What are we going to do about that? And we dug into Snapshot to see if they would add Shibarium as a supported network. And we found that they do have a fee to integrate it directly into their application to be able to select Shibarium as a network. So there is a proposal in there to consider paying that fee on behalf of Shibarium for the DAO, so that we could run our DAO on Shibarium instead of ETH once we migrate over. Other proposals in here, there's some more about the sell taxes. I know there's been a couple proposals about that. And I'm just kind of scrolling through here. There's another one about emergency voting criteria. I don't know if this one would be necessarily meeting the criteria for a proposal. I just kind of encourage people who are submitting a proposal directly. There are guidelines on the website that you can just copy and paste that post questions that the community would want to read about when a proposal is going through. And it's a really easy copy paste and kind of fill out a form and post it as a proposal on the forum.
Yep, it definitely helps for the reader too if you have that format there instead of just, it feels like you're jumping right into the conversation sometimes if it's not formatted correctly. I get what you mean. There are a couple up there. Let me switch over that I hadn't noticed. You mentioned the one about the tax change. There was also one more about Change Now and Simple Swap. That one got booted down the road still, but I keep seeing that one get comments on it too. So there's some good ones. And if you guys aren't there, we would always remind you guys, forum.k9finance.com. You should be signed up. You should already be active over there. But if you're not, make sure you're over there. Get signed up. There is an approval. So if you were to go do it right now, it would take a few minutes for a moderator to approve everything. But get in there, get active on the forum, weigh in with your opinion. Even if it's just a simple, I do or do not support this. You don't have to write the huge paragraphs about everything, but you can if you want. It's also helpful if you articulate why, but just weighing in does help eventually. So thank you, Buzz, for all the updates on all of that stuff in the forum, and hopefully Turtle feels better and we can get more direct updates next time. Meyer, since you're here closer and closer every day to ETH Toronto, what have you been up to getting ready for that?
Well, guys, I have to tell you, ETH Toronto is just packing a punch this year. The bull run is continuing to bring more and more people to Toronto this year. Our event is definitely growing. Shiba Inu, you guys know, has been announced as a title sponsor this year. They're actually doing a big ticket giveaway. If you check out the Futurist or ETH Toronto Twitter, you'll see, I think also Shib Dream put out a big article about it as well. So if you haven't got your tickets yet, I think it's open until June 1st. Go ahead and I think it's futurist.com/ShibArmy. It's futurist.com/ShibArmy. Go in there and apply for a free ticket. It's brought to you by the Shiba Inu team, as well as K9 Finance is really leading the hackathon portion of ETH Toronto this year, looking to bring more builders onto Shibarium, meet developers from all over the world, and help us build out K9 Finance. So I'm quite excited about this year. I'm really looking forward to it's becoming like the unofficial Shib gathering every year now, which is exciting. Brings a whole different dynamic to it. It actually brings a lot more interest to the conference series itself because I think a lot of people know that the Shib Army is massive. They just don't know how to access the Shib Army. So it's been a really cool way to see other brands like Chainlink. We had some we actually have really cool sponsors coming from Japan this year called Ryo Coin. They're another title sponsor. They're doing like a convertible bond out of Japan. That's really cool to see. We got the big boys, Coinbase, you got your Krakens. You got your ICP, which is another chain, but they're all coming out. It's great to see that. It's the only way we're going to get more people onto Shibarium is to expand into other big communities. And that's really what I've been tasked with as an advisor to K9 Finance is how do we bring more people, more builders to Shibarium that will also be able to use the K9 Finance product and to grow this. I just think like the world's our oyster here with K9 Finance. I just think there's so much runway and as it grows, and fingers crossed, I don't actually know if the news came out or not, but hope the ETH ETFs get approved today because that's a big win for the overall industry and everyone involved. From someone who's been there from the beginning to see ETH grow, right out of Toronto. If you don't know, that is where it was born out of. It's an exciting day to see if this gets approved. This just opens the door to so much more for our industry. So yeah, I don't know if everybody saw the news. Has it been approved or not?
So you mentioned that K9 is going to be part of a hackathon. Can you explain what a hackathon is, please?
Yeah, for sure. So hackathon is actually one of the grassroots ways that the entire crypto community and industry was born, basically. So a hackathon is a pretty much a competition. So companies like K9, Ethereum and other big chains put out challenges or what they're called bounties. And they put them out for developers to hack. So a lot of them work in a very condensed time period. A traditional hackathon is like 48 hours where developers will get together and they'll work on these bounties, and then it's a competition. So whoever does the best job or has the best build gets judged, and they win that bounty. So these bounties can be anywhere from $5,000 to hundreds of thousands of dollars. A lot of great projects came out of hackathons. Actually, a lot of them do. That's where they start, because once they win did. Yeah, Uniswap did. Our first hackathon we ever ran, CryptoKitties was the winner. And they became the Flow blockchain. Uniswap was out of one of the ETH hackathons as well. Cosmos was one of the first ETH hackathons. So these are all like really great projects that we know today. And there's probably hundreds and hundreds more, because every chain now has hackathons as well. So this is a really cool way to do it. K9 Finance is taking a great approach on this, because if we want to have more builders on Shibarium, we need to be putting challenges out to get people excited and to work on Shibarium as well. So that's what a hackathon is in a handbasket. If there's any other questions, I would, just let me know. I don't know if I did it justice or not to the devs.
You did, but I'm going to ask Buzz for his opinion on it, because I know he's passionate about those things too. What's your experience with hackathons look like, Buzz?
It's a great way to meet other developers. It's a great way for developers to learn new technologies, and it's kind of like in participating in one, it's like a fun way to build something new, like something you're not familiar with, or build on a new technology. And for a brand like K9, it's a great opportunity to get the attention of developers and say, hey, build on Shibarium, because there's a good chance that a lot of the participants may not have heard of it before. And if you get someone building somewhere once, it's a repeatable action that they can continue doing.
Makes sense. Go ahead, Funk.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask, since I do think it's an honor to have Mayor kind of on these spaces and speaking. I don't know if we'll have him every single Thursday, but I know Vitalik himself, I think 2 years ago, was at ETH Toronto, right? Will he be coming again, or any other kind of big names like that?
Yeah, so Vitalik, I do know him personally from years ago. Obviously, his calendar is jam-packed with events all over the world. I don't even know if he even lives or has like a permanent residence anymore, because he's traveling so much. We're still in talks with getting him there. We always have some really great speakers. We know that Shaitoshi, which is really important to this community, will be giving a talk via virtually probably. We're trying to figure out exactly what that will be. Like last year, they announced Shibarium at Futurist in ETH Toronto. Who knows what they're going to announce this year? We all know that they're working on a lot of different things. Outside of that, we have like one of the other founders of Ethereum, Diorio. We do have some big CEOs of Tyler Spalding of Opera, which is a really cool project. Lucas Matheson of Coinbase. We got someone from Ripple, someone from Hashdex, which would be important because they're putting out an ETF. Ether.fi or EtherFi, I don't know exactly how to say it. Mike Soldegaze. He's really interesting because they're one of the largest restaking platforms. So restaking is just another level of staking that if you don't know about it, I don't want to do it. I don't know if I'll do it justice, but take a look, because it's one of the fastest growth areas in our industry. And it's something that, who knows, maybe K9 Finance can look at in the future. But some really great stuff. There's a book signing from a gentleman out of Chainlink Labs. That's going to be great this year. And every day we're adding speakers. There's over 250 speakers. There's 3 different stages. It's over 2 days. There's just too many to name, to be honest with you. So yeah, take a look at the website, futuresconference.com. That encompasses ETH Toronto and ETH Women with it as well. That's a great place for a resource to see who's coming, and lots of sponsors and speakers are going up every day now. We're kind of in the sprint of it. I'll be in Austin next week, obviously, for Consensus. That's another big event that we go to every year. So there'll be a lot of the industry there. And then right after Austin, all focuses on Toronto.
Hey, thanks for that information, man. I'm looking forward. It's my first crypto conference I'm going to be at, so hopefully we get to meet.
Oh, man, yeah, we better meet. And yeah, we'd love to have a drink with you. I don't know.
Sounds good to me, man. Showed me that Canadian hospitality. One of my first times.
They're actually one of the cool things that's going to happen is there's going to be like a Canadian pavilion thing going on this year. We're going to do some fun Canadian things. So Anybody who's coming from out of town, we love to show you what Canada is all about these days.
I can't wait to see pictures of you two slamming back some Molsons, eh? It's going to be great.
It is stronger than those American beers, but we love American beers.
I look forward to it. Funk, I'm going to look forward to the pictures too from the trip. Let's switch to Funk since we're already talking to him, man. What have you been up to since the buy contest had its big finale? So what's on your agenda now moving past the buy contest?
Yeah, I just am looking at, from the big picture, kind of taking a step back. Like, what are the catalysts? What are the things that are going to move the needle, right? The things that the community really wants to see that, ultimately in any cryptocurrency, they want to see stuff that moves the chart. But then I'm also looking at all the smaller puzzle pieces that make up, those types of catalysts. Because again, a project that has zero community could put out the most bullish utility and news ever, and it wouldn't move the needle at all because they'd be playing to no audience. And so one thing I've noticed that's been really exciting, for me at least, within the K9 finance community, and it's something that I really value, is the community and the culture. And every single VC, it seems like we're doing, has bigger numbers. We're getting more people onboarded all the time, new people coming into the chat, people that are communicative, people that talk and build that culture and make it a really cool place to go. I don't know about any of you guys listening in the audience right now, but do you go onto the K9 Telegram and just see what everyone's talking about? Because there's constant chatter not only about K9, but things that make us human, right? Like people's personal lives, events going on, what people are into, occasionally people's trading strategies, questions about K9 finance, educating K9 finance. And that's the type of culture that when you build and a new person comes in, they get excited about being part of that community, part of that project. And it's a good funnel for getting new traders and new holders of K9, or as I'm kind of calling them now, new team members, because every K9 holder does become a team member. Other than that, just getting the socials on lock, man. I am well over 2 weeks ahead of our Twitter schedule and trying to get more like a month ahead of that in terms of having everything drafted so we can, react on the fly when certain news comes out, when a certain opportunity comes out to really tackle it on the Twitter. Being ahead with your scheduling and all your drafts and things like that allows you to pivot without feeling overwhelmed by the amount that K9 has to put out to maintain, its reputation at the current market cap and holder count and things that it warrants given the size of K9 finance. Other than that, we just onboarded, like I said, Gandolf Crypto. We have another KOL coming on next week. He had some personal issues, so we couldn't sign on. I'm getting some YouTube videos made. I got 2 Telegram AMAs scheduled. I'm going to start every single week be attempting to hit up 2 smaller investment groups and doing AMAs with them, kind of telling them the good word about K9, 1 Telegram chat at a time, and bringing those people in and, again, building that community, that culture that's going to get people excited to be a part of K9. The foundations are there. The tech is there. The fundamentals are there. The team is there. The holder count is there. Everything is lined up for this project to be able to be very easy to market and bring stuff in. Obviously, there has been, some fear, uncertainty, and doubt regarding the first unlocks. I think we've held pretty well. And there's going to continue to kind of be some kind of trepidation around that element of things. But as we move to the product launch, the product release, my job's going to get 100 times easier because it's going to be very easy to get people bullish about the incoming utility, all the centralized exchange listings, just everything that Buzz and Turtle and everyone are killing it on. Just gives me a lot of ammunition. So, long story short, KOLs, influencers, YouTube videos, Telegram channels, social media posts, getting everything squared up, and culture and community building. One last thing I'll mention, we did announce to our whales our very first kind of thing that we're giving them, which I won't necessarily reveal publicly, but they all seem really excited about it. They've all...
Oh, Funk, that's why Sentinel's here. He can reveal it.
All right, perfect, man. That's a good segue. I'm done with my piece anyway, so let's throw it over to Sentinel.
Hello, everyone. Hope everyone's having an outstanding day. So happy to be here. First and foremost, my apologies if you hear a small dog crying. We just onboarded a 9-week-old Bichon Frise. His name is Mr. Magoo. And he is just freaking out, and we don't know how to train him. So you might hear him screaming and yelling. He does that for like literally any reason. So my apologies there. Yeah, super excited to be here. We are giving away champion limited edition hoodies to some of our whales. So I'll let the announcement kind of speak for itself. We'll be getting some cool graphics, but we're really excited to do this. And one of the cool things is that there's going to be rewards attached to the specific hoodies. So once the whales get these hoodies, they can scan the said hoodie and they'll be eligible for a special reward. The first reward is going to be a trip to Japan. So I'll be posting details. There'll be $1,000 flight voucher plus free accommodations, as well as a fully guided tour. So really excited about launching that, and details to follow. The reason why there's a flight voucher, because obviously if somebody is in Antarctica, the flight is going to cost a little bit more. So the Japan flight, the two ways, it's about $1,500, $1,600, but we'll be getting the best possible deal for the whales. But you get free rooms, you get some great food, you get guided tours to pretty much I'd say about 20, 25 different specific destinations. So we'll be posting the itinerary as well. So super excited about that.
That sounds fantastic. And this is the NFC tags. We've talked before about how you guys use the scannable tags inside the hoodie. Is that what you're talking about?
Absolutely. So what's going to happen? We're actually started production on the hoodies already. So once the individuals get the hoodies, we're going to have a little bit of a fun little contest, almost like a reveal. Everyone scans their hoodies, and then there'll be an announcement on who's the winner. And the winner will have a little like boom, 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 you won, and quite exciting. And it's really the first of many. But we're working with a cool crew with Funk and Buzz and Turbo and Myhar in terms of just how to reward people. So like obviously the hoodies themselves are limited edition. They are not for sale, nor can you bribe me, because I don't want Mayhar driving down the street and punching me in the nose. It's only for the whales within K9 Finance. And in terms of the criteria to get into whale status, I do encourage people to kind of load up, because there's going to be a lot of rewards and a lot of benefits. And we're growing together, and that's really the cool thing.
Yeah, just and he knows I got a mean right hand, but those are just amazing prizes. Oh my God, even I, who am involved in this, I didn't know about the Japan thing. That is so cool.
Yeah, we're super excited to announce it, and there's going to be more things. And even just with ETH Toronto, it's so exciting this year. I've seen it grown. We've had the pleasure of just being a part of this for 3 years now, and just seeing how many people are there and how many exchanges are there. I know Shib is doing something huge, where Shibicles is doing a variety of different things. I know Shib Dream and his new token is doing some cool things. So we're all excited, and I'm going to see if I can do some sort of a dim sum party. I keep joking around with Buzz about it, but it's real. I'm going to book a dim sum place and invite a bunch of K9 people, and we're gonna eat dumplings and drink a good Chinese wine. So look out for that. But Shibicles will be hosting a dim sum party at some point. I just got to find the venue, but super excited to continue building.
Yeah, thanks so much, Sentinel. That it was super exciting. I'm really excited about it. I better be on that dim sum invite for sure. And two, I'm looking forward to living the dream token as well. So thanks for bringing that up today.
Oh yeah, for sure. I didn't mean to be too shilly there, but we're it's just so cool to see things. And man, if a Vitalik comes, we're gonna invite him to our party as well.
Cool. Hey, Buzz, I am ready for Buzz's Corner. I don't know what you've been up to since the last time I saw you, because we actually been kind of quiet this week. So equally excited to hear what's on your mind for Buzz's Corner this week. Are you ready to go?
Yeah, of course. I think the biggest thing, there's a couple things on my mind. this week. One is the recent bill that just passed, and I think that's just so bullish for the entire industry. Since I got into the space in 2016, everybody has been screaming for not regulation, but regulatory clarity. And I think that this is a great step forward to regulatory clarity. I tweeted out this morning how I really liked what they put in there about the decentralization test. And I like too that everything that we've done from the start of K9 has been about decentralization and informing this DAO and having community members who have a voice. And the 80% test that they've put in, really happy that K9 passes that test, and we would look good when compared to that bill. So I like that that was coming out. Of course, the ETF and the market soaring here, the broader market is bullish for the entire industry. Like Meyer said earlier, I'm kind of on pins and needles to get onto Twitter today to see if that actually goes through. And then I know we talked about this last week as well, but it's about really bringing Shibarium to light. I was frustrated to see that ranking of CoinGecko where Shibarium was not actually mentioned among the chains that had the highest TPS, but the transactions per second. But I think that as a community and with K9's product, and we're bringing more TVL to the chain, that Shibarium will start to be ranked on lists like that, where the chain can get the notoriety that it deserves. I mean, when people are looking at new chains and new tokens to purchase, these aggregation lists are so important for the top of funnel. And it's this chicken and egg problem where to get on the list, you need the TVL, and to get the TVL, people want to see TVL to get there, right? And I think that K9 is such a unique product that can bring TVL to the chain and really benefit the entire community.
Those are all good points. I wondered what you were going to be riffing on, and I know the ETF thing is on everybody's mind. I've done so many spaces this week. I'm ETF'd to the brain. You can imagine how many times I've had conversations about it. I kind of wondered if you were going to talk about being so interested in your product that you'd be willing to set yourself on fire, because I heard that's the thing that devs are also doing this week. I mean, passions are running high in order to try and get your token in front of people is what I will say, to make a joke out of a terrible situation. Anybody, now would be the time to raise your hand if you had questions to come up, because we will end up shutting down the space otherwise, because we have that hard cap at a little short of an hour, so we can get out of here and get back to our day. We've talked to everybody that I expected to hear from today, minus Turtle. Get well, Turtle. Everybody make sure to make your hand-drawn cards with heavy crayon, and you can email that directly to the email at the bottom of the K9 website. I think that would be nice. I'm looking for hands. I don't see hands. I'm going to scan the comments real quick.
I just want to know why nobody asked if Turtle's dead.
That's a good point. That's definitely only a Buzz thing. And now that you've pointed that out, Turtle's gone for 24 hours and nobody shakes a fist, and Buzz takes a pee break and everybody's like starting funerals and making cards for it. That's true. Oh, well, now we're going to have to if everybody's listening in the Telegram right now, we need a couple of like, where in the world is turtle.defi memes. We can Carmen Sandiego that pretty easy. So maybe he'll feel better when he gets back, when he sees everybody fretting that he hasn't been in the group. I don't know. Buzz, you always said you didn't really know what to make of those things in the beginning. It sounds like now you think they're fun.
Yeah. I mean, I think that it's more fun when the community gets in on the entire joke, right? At the beginning, it was almost as if I was the butt of the joke, but now it's now I feel like I'm a part of it.
It's a little more concerning when someone you're trying to market the product to is suddenly like, what do you mean the dev died? Like, that's terrible news. No, that's part of the joke, man. That's got to be part of the humor. That's the inside joke. And thanks to the administrators and the moderators in the Telegram for keeping that running, because they've made a number of those memes, and honestly, I find that hilarious. By the way, my favorite one that I still don't share is that please send graphic design. We fired ours or whatever. Sometimes it's the simplest memes, honestly, that catch on. So remember, the Shib spirit was not always about being serious. It's a very, very huge part of the community that relies on jokes and dark humor. So I thought those were funny. Nobody threw a hand up, and I scanned the comments. It was just a bunch of memes. You guys are memeing in the comments, which I appreciate. Final thoughts before we go, since we don't have a huge list of speakers, and I got about 4 more minutes before we'll shut it down. Funk, you got anything for the people before we go?
Yeah, man, I just want to give a bullish sentiment to Shibarium and K9 as a whole. You know, obviously, Shiba Swap release, we're seeing a lot of people switch their liquidity pools over there to add it to make it their main DEX. People are trading Shibarium on Shiba Swap. That's a huge step. And as all this infrastructure gets set up, man, it's going to change the narrative and the sentiment, the market sentiment behind Shibarium and Shiba as a whole. So I think the best is obviously yet to come. And all these little changes happen. We build brick by brick. That's been a common term among many Shiba Inu communities. And pretty soon, the dam holds water, as they say, as the wall gets kind of built up there. And with K9 being a huge catalyst to bring the TVL over there, that alone, might make it so on DeFi Llama, like Buzz had mentioned, it'll start showing up in rankings and it'll start getting people excited. And once people start seeing something in an upward climb, that's really what has a psychological effect, because they see things going up and they think it's going to continue to go up. So although, the charts for, K9 and Bone and, Leash and all the other Shibarium tokens might be hanging out and just chilling right now at where they're at. I still think the best is yet to come, not financial advice. So keep bullish, keep building. And we're early, man. We're very early to Shibarium. We'll get some metrics out this weekend on the progress that's been made.
Awesome, man. Nobody mentioned yet the listing tomorrow morning on CoinW.
Nobody to task for that. Who should have mentioned that, Buzz?
I can mention it. I can mention it for sure. I think, the Shib account, I just saw them give the 100 sign up there. I know that the Shib account really helped us get the word out by resharing that. But CoinW is an exchange that was identified by the community by looking at our Google Analytics. So on our Google Analytics, Korea is one of the top countries in terms of visitors to our website. And CoinW is a very popular exchange in Korea. So we identified that we had such a strong contingent from Korea visiting our website. We had some discussions with Korean Blockchain Week and considering having a presence there with their hackathon. And one of the things they were able to do is make an introduction and suggestions to CoinW, and then a listing came out of those conversations. So hoping that if anyone from our Korean community is listening to this, they're very excited to hear that we're going to be going on CoinW. And obviously it grants us a really excellent opportunity to grow our Korean presence as well, and having a exchange that is very specific to their jurisdiction.
It's big news, and specifically that you use the analytics is very cool to figure that out. Using a little bit of data-driven science to target an exchange like that's very smart. Good move. Shima, I appreciate you pulling up today. Do you have final thoughts before we leave?
Not too much. My mind has shifted back to dev work, but thanks for having me here.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you pulling up. And Buzz, before we go, I saw that Meyer and Shiba Cal's already left, so it's up to you, man. Final thoughts?
Final thoughts are that the tomorrow's listing on CoinW is not going to be the last one. There's going to be more coming that have been signed, agreed to, and not only just listings, but integrations as well. And I will leave it with that.
Dude just waited till the 59th minute of the Spaces to say that listings were signed to, agreed to, and thinks he's going to get away with you guys not following up in the chat. That's hilarious. So tune in tomorrow with Mr. Lightspeed as you guys do the CoinW exchange listing live in the VC as he usually does. I believe Mr. Lightspeed will be live as the charts go live, providing some feedback in the VC. So jump in there and participate, because you guys know any opportunity to pick the brain of Lightspeed, particularly at a moment where a listing is going live, you never know what you're going to learn from that. So participate there. I'm sure Buzz and the rest of the team are going to do what they can to be there in the Telegram with that. Otherwise, final thoughts for me as Pulse Digital, not as K9 Finance, just for me, man. Another great week as we just continue to flip calendar days and flip towards Q3, man. It's just about Q3 for me. Product release. I feel like the $10,000 winner, just holding my breath, waiting for the DAP to drop, because I think that's where it's all going to be. And I think that the timing for ETH Toronto, the timing for the DAP, I can't confirm or deny anything because I'm not part of this decision, but something tells me that this is all going to line up in a way where it'll be something that the spaces get very exciting. So stay tuned. for more. And in the meantime, on behalf of K9 Finance, back in my suit again here, on behalf of K9 Finance, I would say thank you to all the listeners that pulled up today, whether you're here live or whether you're here listening to the recording, whether you got here at the beginning or somewhere in the middle. I still appreciate that. And to the people that came up as speakers, I appreciate you guys coming up to represent your part in the K9 Finance community, whether that's development work, financial management, marketing, KOLs, in-person events. It doesn't matter. We all have our role within the community. Mine just happens to be speaking and hosting. That's why I'm in the K9 Finance account doing this. My name's Pulse Digital. I'm just a guy like the rest of you community members. So if you want to be a part of this show, be a part of the community, be active on the Telegram, join us next week, same place, same time. We do these every Thursday. This was episode number 18. So we'll see you same place, same time next week for the next K9 Finance Weekly DAO update. Thanks, guys. Have a great day. We appreciate you.